Class is in session. Welcome to the Hitting the Book show for Monday, April 27th. Ian Cameron and Connor Mack with you, ready to talk NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, NBA playoffs, and MLB for the most part on this Monday show. As always, we'll start with the Stanley Cup playoffs, a little hockey action, and we've got two games tonight. One of them being an elimination game with the Pittsburgh Penguins facing elimination against the Philadelphia Flyers. The other, Vegas-Utah, Game 4. Between those two teams. If you watch the Ice Guys show daily, you'll know that one thing we've talked about on that show is a very distinct plan of attack with elimination games, with third period overs. These games often get chaotic late with the team facing elimination. If they're trailing in the third period, they'll pull the goalie oftentimes earlier than usual with 5 or 6 minutes left. We saw it with Ottawa, Carolina on Saturday when Carolina swept Ottawa. We saw it yesterday with Colorado when they swept Los Angeles. This is a very strong plan of attack. So if you have access to third period totals, you can bet over 2 in the third period, or you could put over 1.5 in the third period in a parlay, which is worth a look because these games tend to have goals later in the games. And these elimination games over the weekend, 3-0, third period over, 3-0 full game over for the 3 elimination games this past weekend in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Carolina, Ottawa, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh Game 4, and then, of course, Colorado, LA Game 4 yesterday. So I like all those looks, third period over, full game over. If you have access to BetMGM, you can bet empty net goal props, and those are great bets in elimination games too. So empty net goal is like plus 125, and if you think Philadelphia can eliminate Pittsburgh tonight, you can take Philadelphia specifically to score the empty net goal at plus 350, which is one heck of a great price there with that. So I like a lot of those looks, the full game over as well in that game, and I'm on Pittsburgh to get the first goal in the first period. Might live bet Philly after that. We are doing a live bet cast for the Ice Guys during that game, and that's definitely going to be a plan of attack that I'll be going with for that Flyers-Penguins game. And then the other game, look, I think Vegas will start strong. They have to. They're down 2-1. I think first goal, first period for the Golden Knights. I like that look. I don't know if I'm ready to trust them to win the hockey game, though. It feels like that game could be a little like Edmonton-Anaheim last night, where Edmonton starts strong, but Anaheim came back and won. Because if you watch this series, Utah, their speed's given Vegas some trouble. And I think this has been a series where I think Utah believes they can win this series. And that home ice has been very, very good for them. It was loud the other night at Delta Center. So if you made me choose full game, I'd lean Vegas to tie the series to play better. But I like early look for Vegas more so than the full game for them to get on the board first in the opening period. C-Mac, your thoughts? What do you like on the ice here?
I think if you like Vegas, yeah, early, and I think that means it gets over the 5.5. I really do. If they don't, they lose, and this could stay under. You know what I mean? Because out of these two teams, I think Utah is flat better. So full game, it'd still be them. Too much love for these old teams that have been here year in, year out a little bit, I think, and same with Vegas. And in the other game. Why do I even need to say anything? You said everything there. Do I even say more with these elimination games with the over? So on with it to the NBA.
It's true. I mean, it's been excellent, this approach with the elimination games, especially live overs and third period over pregame, third period over in game, and live over, even in the middle of the second period. If you see that Philadelphia, who can eliminate Pittsburgh tonight, if Philadelphia is up 2-1 in the third and the live total, or even if it's 1-0 in the second period for Philly, and the live total falls to 3.5 or 4.5, don't be scared to bet the live over 3.5, 4.5, because Pittsburgh's got to open it up, try to push for offense, and even if they don't tie it, they're going to have to pull the goalie and multiple times when they're down late in the third, and that's when you get your live overs cashing. So always look at that when it comes to elimination games in the Stanley Cup playoffs. All right, let's go to NBA. We've got 3 NBA playoff games tonight. I'm on the Thunder team total over. It's a wash, rinse, repeat bet for me. Like, what's going to change here tonight with Phoenix facing getting swept? Oklahoma City has put more than 112.5 points on the board in all 3 games against the Suns. What's changing here? Their team total's over 112.5. I like it again. I mean, I think Denver could absolutely maul Minnesota tonight. This could be the night where Denver's pissed. Denver's humiliated. a team without DiVincenzo, who got injured, Anthony Edwards, who got injured, and they were still able to beat Denver in Minnesota. This probably feels like a night where Denver wins and probably wins convincingly. The question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to lay 11.5? I'd maybe get creative, look maybe first quarter, first half for Denver to come out strong, throw the first punch here in this game. But the Minnesota Timberwolves being very short-handed. It's one thing to step up and win when they all get hurt at home, like DiVincenzo and Edwards. But now you got to play a full game without them now on the road for the first time. It's a little bit different. So like I said, I think Denver probably rolls, but I'd probably split it up. A little first quarter, a little first half, and maybe look to team total over for Denver as well. Detroit-Orlando is the tougher game for me. I took the Pistons, but I can't say I feel great about it. And if you want to argue the values with Orlando, I get it totally, because they look like they have caused Detroit problems. Orlando with a great Game 3 win at home to take a 2-1 series lead. If you want to say the point spread values with Orlando, I totally get it, with them getting 3.5 at home. But we do have to remember, Detroit was in this spot in Game 2, coming off a Game 1 loss, and they blew out Orlando in that bounce-back spot. I don't know if they'll blow them out tonight, but another thing that pushed me to bet Detroit, Scott Foster assigned to the game, the extender. All he does, it seems, is give an extra foul call to the team that needs the win. In this case, Detroit. I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure, but it's definitely something I've noticed over the years. So with some caution, I do like Detroit there. CMAC NBA, what are you liking?
Shout out to the chat. Thomas, my dude, what's going on? Money B, Green Brian, how you doing? My dude Andy, as always, great to see you, my dude. Been in here. Yeah, Thomas, well, my bad. Saturday's pissing me off. I try to give the best bet maybe or two when we give our plays here on the weekend. And it was the Dodger game, of course, flew over.
Yeah.
The Cubs team total. But I thought that A's game was 3-2 right away. And man,
I'm with you. I didn't make enough money with the Rockies this weekend. I didn't fade the Mets.
Oh, that too. Oh, fuck. Don't even. I'm sure you saw my tweet maybe. I'm like, God damn.
I didn't either.
Mets just suck that goddamn bad. Yep. Okay. FB, what up? Yeah, let's get to these. I think Oklahoma City gets their team total. I don't mind that. I think this isn't enough. I mean, SJ just keeps making shots late, gets to the free throw line. So the Suns, I need 15 points. You had 15 here, I'd move on them all day long. This number is big. When the end of the game, I look at Denver. I think they do win this game, but a ton of points to lay with them, even with the injuries. I think they'll extend the game. It's just 11.5. I think the first half, you could look at that. But still, I mean, first half, 6.5. With this offense, maybe they get the spark here at home, because they looked in a whole lot of trouble in Minnesota, this Denver offense. And to the last game, I think the Magic don't shoot as well. The crazy thing in that game was Bane, unbelievable from three. A few other guys were very good. I think he started 7 for 7. I think he finished 7 for 9. I just don't think they shoot it that well. Now they're at home, and I think they keep this game close. Because when I look at it, because I don't think they shoot it better, was their team total. But this is only like 104.5 for them. And man, to tell you, Detroit's the better team, but shit, I don't want to lay points with them at all. You know what? I look at these two, and I'm surprised. I'll dare them to score again here. Like, I think I'm getting a little bit of a bargain with this first half. The team total under 110.5. I moved on that with the Spurs game yesterday, but I wanted to move on to the Sixers game. This is the Celtics, but the 3-ball scared me a little bit. Just team getting hot. I mean, it stayed under, but that second quarter. But this is another one where even if the Pistons come out, well, I think they got to defend better, of course. I think they're the better defensive team. But Orlando's found a little bit. The defense, are we seeing it from last year a tad bit? In the last week, 2 weeks. So to me, it's just this first half under. I'll take it at 110.5.
All right, great stuff. On we go. MLB for a Monday as a brand new week arrives in Major League Baseball. How about Alex Cora getting fired? Mike, I think that's a terrible decision. I don't think this is his fault. He's a good manager. He's had good seasons. He's gotten them into the playoffs multiple years, got him in last year to the play. That was not a great Boston team last year. He got him into the playoffs.
Sometimes though the old, you got to get them out though. They've been around. It just gets stagnant. But I think that front office is fucked.
Yeah,
for
Craig
the Red Sox.
What the fuck kind of
GM,
accolades has he made here with this team? All he is a journeyman relief pitcher with the A's years ago. That's all I remember. Craig Breslow. Yeah. That's about it. I mean, what qualifications does he have to be a general man? I haven't been impressed. That's for damn sure. The stuff he's done as Red Sox GM. So that was kind of disappointing. I think a good man and a good manager lost his job, but I'm not going to feel too sad. He's going to get paid well.
He'll get it.
He'll get another job down the road. There's no question about that. All right, on we go. Let's start with Tampa Bay and Cleveland. Battle of lefties. Steven Matz, Parker Messick. Cleveland minus 135 home favorites. 8 the total. Give me the Guardians here. I know it's minus 135, but I like the spot. Bounce back. They lost the last couple games against the Blue Jays over the weekend. Now they're back home. Messick's been very good. Sub-2 ERA for Messick this year. I think he's got the advantage over Matz. Not to mention Cleveland actually a little better against lefties, and actually a pretty good matchup, I think, for their lineup here against Matz in this spot than the other way around. Tampa, let's give them credit. They, got a nice series against Minnesota at home, but let's see if they can do that now going on the road. I like the spot. Price is not the cheapest, not the biggest bargain, but minus 135. I still laid it with Cleveland. Maybe Guardians can go over their team total. I do think they could hit Matz a little bit here. And definitely a bullpen edge for Cleveland as well. Tampa's bullpen nowhere close to what we've seen in the past. C-Mac, what do you think here? Tampa, Cleveland.
I think Matz could pitch better. I mean, he got lit up his last start. And, God, the problem with him is the long ball. Messick's been good. When I see this, you're right. I think there's a little advantage to both these teams with the lefties, at least for the lineup, I think. There's a few, of course, with the Rays, that the lefties that they have, Aranda and a few others. But I'd look at this under. I was looking at this. It's a little bit juiced. The best line I found, the first three, under 2.5. I got to trust Matz, I think, but I think he's going to be a little bit better. We've long standing. Anybody who's watched Mano do a baseball show for a while, just know my hatred of Steven Matz.
Yes, I know.
So
yes, you do.
Should I? I don't know if I want my money on it, but I sure this first three. I don't want it after that. I don't want to see him because I was even looking at the first 5. It's 4.5, but I wouldn't want to see the lineup a second time. So first 3 under 2.5 here is what I'd be on.
All right, on we go. Next up, we got St. Louis and Pittsburgh. Dustin May and Mason Montgomery, the pitching matchup here. Pittsburgh minus 115 home favorites, 8.5 the total in this one. You've got St. Louis coming off a real bad weekend against Seattle. They got swept at home. Pittsburgh ended up winning 2 of 3 at Milwaukee. The only fear here is Pittsburgh off the 6-game road trip. I don't necessarily always love those spots, but Dustin May, to his credit, he's pitched better here. 3 straight starts. He's pitched fairly well, 2 runs or less. But Mason Montgomery, we'll see what we get from him. He's going to start this game. Wilbur Dotel is going to be the primary in this game here for the Pirates. I think Pittsburgh's a better team, and the price is cheap, and they play well at home. I just don't like the spot for them here coming off the road trip. That's the only thing holding me off the Pirates. I lean that way, but I've said it a million times. I don't love laying prices with teams off road trips, especially 2 series or 3 series road trips. And that's what we got here with Pittsburgh. C-Mac, what do you think?
That's how I feel. This one's tough because off the road trip, can May keep pitching well? Can you? It seems like after 3 or 4 good starts, he's due.
Yeah.
Especially a road start.
Yes.
But this is the travel spot. Can he pitch well again? Can it stay under? That one's tough. And yeah, they've lost. They got swept there. I think they've lost 4 straight. And I think they could get to me if I had to. What I was looking at here, just the lean, is the Pirates. Been a little mixed bag with them, of course, with their lineup. But I take their team total to think they could get to May here early, even with the spot being tough.
All right, on we go. Next up, it is here we go. Oh, the aforementioned Boston Red Sox who fired manager Alex Cora, and it's Chad Tracy. That name sounds familiar. Who is the interim manager now, called up from the AAA affiliate. He's actually the son of Jim Tracy, who was the Rockies manager a very long time ago. That's who the interim manager now is for
Dodgers manager.
Yeah, that's Jim. Yeah, Jim Tracy was with the Dodgers too for a bit. Good
Yeah,
call. Yeah, but I always most recently I think the Rockies when it was like 10 years ago. He coached
yeah.
many Rockies managers during that time. We got Ranger Suarez, Dylan Cease on the mound. Blue Jays -135 home favorites, 7 the total. I mean, I think the Blue Jays are starting to heat up. I don't want to bet against them, but I also know that since they fired Cora, the Red Sox have gone 2-0 and they're starting to hit again all of a sudden. These last couple of games since they fired Cora, they've won 2 games. Saturday they beat Baltimore, and yesterday they beat Baltimore. So it's 2 kind of bet on teams for me here going head to head. So no bet here. CMAC, what do you think?
I still think the value. Yeah, Chris, the Red Sox are fucked in general. I mean, I take them here. I don't know how much I love it. I think they're the side in this game. I mean, Suarez on the road. Cease has good numbers against this lineup. Maybe this is just a dead under. Of course, we have a low total in this one. But to me, at least with Suarez on the road, you get his value. So I'll take the Red Sox first 5. I haven't bet them at all.
Yeah.
I don't know if I took the Red Sox much this year. I'm a little bit hesitant here, but I think they have the value, even with your guy Cease, the $1 million man on the mound. How much did he get paid?
He's been good, Cease.
He's been good.
Yeah, he's been good. But I agree. I mean, Boston's actually a team. I'm looking to bet on them. I don't know if tonight's the night, but you're right. I would take Boston before Toronto tonight, just because of the price being what it is. But I'm going to stay off because I kind of want to back both of them. I think the Jays could go on a run. I think the Red Sox could go on a run because I think they've underachieved.
I misspoke. The Red Sox have hit him a little bit. Suarez has pretty good numbers against the Jays. Sorry, I misspoke there. Just when they've seen each other a few times.
All right, on we go to next game on the slate. It is the Angels and the White Sox. We've got Jack Kohanovich and Anthony Kay, the pitching matchup. We've got the pretty much even money, -110, total of 9 a year in this game. This could be runs. I mean, that's always the first thought when I look at both of these pitchers. I know Kohanovich's ERA is pretty good, 3.1 ERA, but the problem is the platoon matchup here is not beneficial to him against the White Sox. The stronger side could really feast here on Kohanovich. And I told you about Anthony Kay. I mean, his ERA looked pretty solid before his last start. Don't buy into it. He's not that good. And he promptly got absolutely racked, absolutely crushed by Arizona last start. 8 runs, 3.2 innings for Anthony Kay. So I think now here's the problem. The Angels are coming off a long game with Kansas City. Their bullpen blew it multiple times. Horrible loss for the Angels. If you're going to back the Angels here, do it first 5. I think you got to kind of stay away from their bullpen. But I'm going to lean over an Angels first 5 here. CMAC, what do you think?
Man, I don't know if he's fit. One thing with Kohanowitz, I think he's going to get hit. I don't know if it's again here today with this. This wind's blowing in here a little bit. You have a wind. I was going through this earlier. I just wanted to double check it.
Looks like wind in a little bit, 20 miles per hour in. Interesting.
Like a left to right kind of wind here. Yeah, I still think the value here is with the White Sox. One thing with Kohanowitz, what I mentioned, is all of a sudden he's getting lefties out. This is not going to continue. They're only hitting, below 200. When I've seen him the last few years, lefties rip him. It's the year before it's 290. Last year they hit over 300 off him. So to me, the value here is with the White Sox in this game.
All right,
first 5.
First 5. All right, good stuff. On we go. Next up, it is the Seattle Mariners and the Minnesota Twins. Luis Castillo and Connor Prelip, the pitching matchup here. Seattle -130 road favorites, 9 the total. This is another one I think we could see some runs here. Seattle's offense is starting to get it rolling a bit. 4 straight wins. They put up the 11 spot on St. Louis over the weekend. They've now scored 3+ in 4 straight games. Going back further, they've actually scored 3+ in 7 of their last 8. So we're starting to see the Mariners hit a little bit more. The Twins, meanwhile, send Prelip out to the mound for this game. He wasn't great in his first spot start. 2 runs, 4 hits, 4 innings in that one. And Castillo, I can't continue to think, especially on the road, he's hittable. In Seattle, he's been good, but last 2 road starts, San Diego and the Angels, 8 runs, 13 hits in only 9 innings. So that's not really good. 8 runs, 13 hits, and 9 innings for Luis Castillo in his last 2 road starts for the Mariners. So this to me looks like could be some runs scored. Good point by Thomas saying, yeah, there's chance of rain in the forecast. I'm only seeing around 50%. We'll see. It could be hit or miss as far as is this game delayed. That's always the one hang up I always have when I like an over and there's a chance of rain. Sometimes the rain delay takes me off betting it because sometimes rain delays are where overs go to die. But I do still lean over here. C-Mac, what do you think with Mariners Twins?
Mariners finally get the wins he talked about on the road, up to 14 and 15. I still don't trust him. No way. I mean, I'm not going to bet this game, but I'd take the Twins if I had to. But this was a quick off for me. You talked about maybe some rain.
All right, next up, New York Yankees and Texas Rangers. Max Fried, Jack Leiter, pitching matchup here. Yankees minus 160 road favorites, 8 the total in this one. Jack Leiter is one of these pitchers where you've got to be careful when he's facing, and I like him. He's capable of having a good start, and he's got solid stuff. But when he's facing a team that can stack lefty bats, the likes of which the New York Yankees can, that's when he runs into trouble. That's when he can really get into some difficulty. And obviously that's going to be the case here with how the Yankees profile against Jack Leiter here in this game. Not to mention the Yankees bats, they're swinging it right now. This 8-1 run, here's what they've done. They've scored 4-4, 13, 7, 4, 4, 4, 12, 8, 4. I mean, they've been just remarkably consistent, at the plate. Now their team total's 4.5. You're going to need 5 from them tonight, but I think they can get there. They really do match up solidly here against Jack Leiter because they can stack those lefty bats. They got a shit ton of them, of course. You know who I'm talking about: Ben Rice, Grisham, Bellinger, Wells. I mean, all those guys. And plus, Leiter has a 7.93 expected ERA against lefty hitters this year. That's really bad. Almost an 8 expected ERA for Leiter against that lefty side. So that's really a bad scary sign when you're facing a team like the Yankees. So I think the Yankees team total over 4.5. I kind of like that. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, we'll see if the offense can keep going here with the Yankees with Leiter. Only thing in the Rangers, this team just is not hitting, and they don't have good numbers against Max Fried at all. Because when I thought this game, it was under first 3 under 2.5, or just the Rangers team total. There is a 3.5. It's really, really juiced. Or it's just, I talk about the 2.5. It gets dicey. The 2.5, but man, a full fucking game, team total under. Yeah, I mean, I lean that way. The 3.5 is safer, I think, in this one, because I think they'll have trouble with Fried. They struggled these last couple of days watching those last games on the weekend against the A's. See if the lineup can get going.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, definitely they are having some issues stringing quality ABs together, Texas, lately. And you're right, it could be a difficult assignment here against Max Fried. All right, we got 2 games left. Chicago Cubs, San Diego Padres. Matt Boyd for the Cubs, Randy Vasquez for San Diego. It looks like we've got the Padres here, minus 120 home favorite, 7.5 the total. This is an interesting one because you've got San Diego coming off a very long road trip. I hate this spot for the Padres. Angels 3 games, Rockies 3 games, Arizona, not just Arizona, but frickin' New Mexico. It's where they played those 2 games over the weekend against Arizona. So you got to come all the way back from Mexico. You don't even get a frickin' day off, do you? Because didn't they play that the second game yesterday? Yeah, they played Saturday, the first game in Mexico against Arizona, and they played the second game yesterday against Arizona, and now they got to go all the way back now to San Diego and Petco from Mexico, no day off, just from a pure situational travel spot. It's advantage Cubs, but can you back them? Because Boyd, I mean, we talked about how good he was for a lot last year. Hasn't been that same Matt Boyd this year. He's not giving you any length. He struggled. He's given up 10 runs in a little over 12 innings. It's not very good. That's the only problem here. I think it's a Cubs spot for sure, but do you trust Matt Boyd? And right now he's not in great form. But I could only look at the Cubs here. There's a brutal spot, I think, for San Diego. C-Mac, what do you think?
It is. Of course, we have the 7.5 total. Can Vasquez keep pitching well, too? This guy has just been really, really good. I think the Padres could get to Boyd a little bit. I mean, he had the outlier year last year. He's more the guy on the road you want to fade, and the guy of years past. I mean, what to those Tiger years? Remember those?
Yep.
I mean, he's the 9-13, 9-12 that point. So I think Padres here. Machado hit a couple of bombs. I'd go back to him tonight. I look at his RBI. He has some good numbers. Maybe he's going to heat up a little bit off Boyd.
All right, there you go. That's the problem, right? It's such a good Cub spot, but boy, oh boy, it does feel like Boyd's a good matchup for the Padres. We'll see if that is indeed.
Yeah, can they get to him though?
Yeah,
we'll see. They've been dating even to last year, just hot, cold, even against lefties.
All right, last game, Marlins and Dodgers. We've got Chris Paddock, Yoshi Yamamoto, Dodgers minus 300, 8.5 the total. It's Paddock on the mound. We may need the Dodgers to do most of the damage here, but I still like this game over the total a little bit. Yamamoto, he was actually still pitched 7 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits, but he did labor a little bit more in that outing. He did pitch well against the Marlins. This is more that, look, I think the Dodgers are going to do serious damage against Paddock. And then, of course, the Marlins bullpen hasn't been anything great to write home about. But more than anything, this is just the fact that 9 straight, I believe, games between the Marlins and Dodgers have been an over. 8-1 is what it is to the over in the last 9 meetings. For some reason, Marlins, Dodgers, we get a lot of runs. I think that Marlins can chip in a little bit here as far as offensively that goes. I mean, the Dodgers, I think, are going to hit Paddock. They've scored 22 runs in their last 3 games. But the Marlins, you go back and look at their last 7 games. They've scored 4 runs or more, this Marlins team, in 4 of those 7. So they've been swinging a little bit better of late. If they get 2 or 3 runs, the Marlins, this is probably going to be an over because the Dodgers will take care of the rest. So 8.5 the total. I look over here. 9-1 run for the over in the series, Marlins Dodgers. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the Dodgers could get their team total, the 2.5 here. Best number right around minus 125. I think they get at least a Paddock. Lineup's not out yet. I looked to Teoscar Hernandez. Max Muncy got pulled yesterday, I think, hitting that home run. So I don't know if he's going to go, but he had 4 for 15. This is a perfect guy in Paddock.
So he's mashed Paddock. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is the perfect righty that just throws meatball to that he loves, and he's patient. Yeah. Takes his walk. So we'll see if he's in. But I think the Dodgers look their team total because I flip it around. It's just the danger spot. Yamamoto. I mean, look at their first 5, 1.5, way juice to the. You know what I mean? The Marlins. I think Yamamoto's good here. But a little bit rough his first inning, his last few starts. But it's we saw that in the playoffs, and then just shuts it down. Sometimes it's like that with pitchers, though. First inning, it can always give them a little bit of trouble till they get going.
Yep, absolutely. And we'll see if, like I said, just a little, you need an inning or 2 really to settle in and get in your groove. And that can sometimes be the case.
And then he's like a robot, too. He can just like his pitches. It seems like his command is better.
Yeah, there's definitely some of that in him, no question. All right, Jack of the day. I've only got 2 today. It's a bit of a shorter card. Max Muncy was going to be one of them, but we don't know for sure. But I had to bet it because he's hit multiple home runs against Chris Paddock. So that was one that I was interested in. There's another one. This guy's hit 3 bombs against Steven Matz for the Cleveland Guardians. And I think most of those games were when he was with the Phillies. But give me Rhys Hoskins for the Cleveland Guardians. Rhys Hoskins with 3 home runs in the past against Steven Matz. So Rhys Hoskins, and you can get his home run prop for Cleveland plus 460. Really good price on that. So Hoskins is the one I like the most today.
Yeah, I talked about Machado, Teoscar, Muncy. I think Muncy will be in. He was sick. I think that's why they pulled him basically in that game. But feeling a little bit sick. Yeah, Yanni Diaz, always good against a lefty. But that was about it for Jax.
Good stuff. Shout out to everyone joining us. Brian Elfring, Thomas Corbett, Brian Flynn, Steven Jackson, Gerald Jones, Chickadee Sports, Crystal. I know that's you. You changed your name, but I know it's you. Randall Sheffield, FB Gotti, Money B Green, Nick Handy, appreciate everyone joining us here. Make sure you're a member of the channel because we got members shows only Wednesdays and Fridays every week right here on the Hitting the Books YouTube channel. So we thank you for being members of the show as well. All right, let's wrap it up. It's time for best bets for a Monday. C-Mac, what do you got?
Yeah, hit the like button. Become a member if you haven't. Couple shows. We want to give it for the members. Give the member and some plays on the weekend. My best bets. Steven put it in here. Bavano, I swear, it might have been one time you did have an under best bet. I can't remember, though.
They're very rare. Okay. They're very rare.
He had one.
Yeah, one of these days, just for shits and giggles, I'll give you an under as a best bet.
You gave one. I forget. We might even both been on that. It was a crazy. I forget what it was. Game. The wind was blowing way in. Something wild. Yeah. But just to answer Steven's question there. Okay. Here we go. Best number I got, -122. But there's some couple -125s. Dodgers first 5, team total. My Dodgers first 5. They get the Paddock, team total over 2.5.
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to argue with that. I think it's going to be a tough night when you look at this matchup here for Chris Paddock of the Miami Marlins. My best bet, let's see what we're going to go with here tonight. You know what? I think it's going to be the Cleveland Guardians. I'm just going to go money line. Cleveland -135. I like it. I mean, I think they bounce back. Tough. You know, Toronto's starting to play a little bit better. They lost the last 2 games. Now they're back home. You know, Tampa Bay now going on the road after a solid homestand for the Rays. Let's not forget that the Rays this year at home they're on the road 8-7. That's actually okay, but Cleveland's been good at home 8-5. And I just like Messick a little bit over bats. So let's go with the Cleveland Guardians, -135 against the Tampa Bay Rays for my best bet here for this Monday MLB slate. All right, that's a wrap. Appreciate you guys joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. For Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. Enjoy the games, and good luck. And we will see you tomorrow on Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, right here for another edition of the Hitting the Books show. Until then, class dismissed.